So the next thing in the classwork area, in the Create Plus button, and as I click on it and just let it hover there, is the quiz assignment. I've already done topic, reuse, material, and question. The quiz assignment basically was added, I don't know, within the last year or so. Basically, it's just a Google form. So if you're familiar with using Google Forms, that's what it is. There's two options in the creation of this. So if you know the basics of Google Forms or you know how to make a Google form, you can just listen to the first minute of this video and you'll be good. So I'm just going to put testing how to use Google Classroom, since that's the name, since that's my course here. I put instructions, complete this assessment of how well you know Google Classroom. Fix it. And I can add materials to it. So if I already have a Google form made, I can go and find it. So I can go find that Google form, or I can just hit blank quiz and create it from blank. And that's basically the two things that you can do for it. So you name it, complete this, put the description and the instructions, add one that you already have, or hit blank. Then you would make all the changes over here as always. Which course do you want it to be included on? Which students do you want it to be sent to? How many points do you want it to be worth? Due date, which I don't use normally, and then which topic is it going to be under? So if I wanted to getting started basics, I could put it on there. Two new things that they have with assignment, anything that's related to an assignment, is I can create a rubric and add the rubric. I can also scan it for any plagiarism originality reports. Now, free, you can do it 3 times. You and the student can check for any kind of plagiarism that may have occurred. So those are 2 brand new things, and I'll talk more about those later. But if I'm going to go into the Google Forms a little bit more detailed here, I can click up here and give it a name. So assess Google Classroom. Give it a name. And then here, I can give it a name as for Google Classroom Assessment. If I want to create a new question, I click on it, and Google has this smart way of knowing based on the words you use. How do you feel about using Google Classroom? So this could be, now it's making me a liar, but it could have been noticed as like a short answer or a paragraph, multiple choice, checkbox. It could have been noticed to be a linear scale since I was asking for their opinion. So I'm going to just make it an open response, a little bit longer answer text. I can make it required. And I could do some validation, but I'm not. And it is made into a quiz because it was the blank one. If I were in my regular Google form, I would have to go into this gear and turn on the quiz, make this a quiz, but it was already done for you since it was the blank quiz that they included for that. General, you can collect email addresses. You can restrict it to the people that are only in your domain, limit it to 1 response. And you can select these however you want. And again, that was in the gear of this response. Okay, so I could, if it's just going to be the way it looks, show the progress bar, shuffle the question order to mix it up a little bit, and then give them a confirmation message that tells them how they ended. Quiz, same thing. Make this a quiz. Immediately after each submission, release the grade, or later after a manual review. And then after I'm happy with those answers, I hit save. This is just the basics of it. So this part is the questions. If I want to add another question, I can add that question. And then, test question. And I could make it any of these things. I could force them to upload a file. I could have them enter a date, so it could be like a collecting data kind of thing. But all of those are question options when you create a brand new question. And of course they have all of these dots, duplicate, delete, answer key. So when I click on answer key, I can see how much it's worth and what the answer is. If I have questions, I can import them from another resource that Google Form recognizes. I could add a subtopic, so things that are in between that'll be bigger text. I could add an image, I can add a YouTube video or a video, and I can add sections, and that's important if you have the students going from something to another thing. So like if I say, based on this answer, go to a different section. So if they answer yes, then they will go to section 3 and not go to section 2. So you can have them navigate it that way. Just a quick, so we don't make this video too long, I'll get more in detail of Google Forms, but over here in the responses, as soon as they respond, all of their results will be in here in picture form and in graph form. But you also have the option of creating a spreadsheet of those responses. On both sides, you have the ... that allow you to manage the answers. Over here, it manages the entire form. You can do all of these advanced things. Google Forms and spreadsheets are super in-depth when you're using those for your classroom, because you can do so many things. The way to look at the way it looks when the students are gonna see it, you can click that preview. I just close that X because it's still over here. I can customize the theme, make it a different color. I can also choose an image up for the header. I'm happy with that. And then there are add-ons, which is a more advanced thing for a different video. I can also send the video via email. You guys are doing it through Classroom, so you don't have to worry about it. Link, and I can embed it somewhere if I want. It'll give me the embed code. I can put that on my website. But I'm not going to do that because we already have this through my classwork, and if I refresh this, it would change the name of that. So let's refresh and see what it does for me. If I go to my test, it's still in a draft form. So I'm going to go to the ... and hit edit. And now you can see that it says Google Classroom Assessment. We could have gone through all these steps, made sure everything was fine, and then hit assign. Again, you can assign, schedule, or save draft. I'm just going to assign, and I put that under Getting Started Basics. I didn't really have any real questions. Now, the fact that it's an assignment, it shows that it was assigned to one student, because I have one student and no one has turned it in. So that is the quick of creating a quiz assignment.